Mr. Brok, Cluj applied to become European Culture Capital, but it didn't become Culture Capital at the end. But you took the opportunity to create a network with other European cities, and you started a common project, which became very successful at the end. Which were the biggest difficulties you encountered when you tried to start the project? And what did you learn during the organization process? What would you do different now, maybe?
Thank you so much. The most difficult part was to bring the entire community together to establish the vision and the strategy towards a European Capital of Culture title. But after that, doesn't matter if you win or lose. In the end, it's Oscar. Oscar goes to someone, also the others are winners. Because when you have the community, you have a strategy, you have a vision, you have the steps to move forward, doesn't matter, as I said, if we win it or not. Was a decision 6-6 twice. In the end, the president of the jury decided to give the title to another city. And on that very first moment, we said, we are going to keep our program. So we move forward as we were winner. So in this moment, we go step by step with all the steps in order to put in practice our vision in terms of European Capital of Culture. Because I do believe Europe has a body, but also Europe has a soul. And the culture is so important in order to promote and to have a stronger Europe. So as is in life, if we win, move forward. If you lose, move forward. And especially at the local, regional level, in terms of culture, when you have a strategy and you have your community together and beside you, I think you just have to move forward. So yes, we decided to make a network of former European cities who did not win the European Capital of Culture titles. And I think it's going to be a very successful network in order to have an exchange of best practices in terms of culture to make Europe stronger from bottom-up perspective.
And was it hard to create that network, or if you called them, did they just say yes and you started working and everything?
We decided to call them, and we were so impressed to see so positive answers. It was like everyone was waiting someone to take the lead, and when we asked all of them, we did a meeting in Cluj, and there were 24 participants, and they're already in place, and I think it's working very, very well, and maybe we'll present also the European level that network.
Okay. Mr. Vásquez, you are not a European, but you lived a long time in Europe. What do you think, why is that citizens are not that much involved in European or not feeling European?
Well, it's an incredibly difficult question to answer. I think if there's a single issue now that should be worrying us is the relationship between citizen information. There's a gap there. I think I can think of a time in recent history in which citizens were so directly responsible for the shaping of their own story, of their own narrative, as they are today. Everybody through social media, this is what has put responsibility in the hands of citizens. Everybody in social media can shape their own narrative, their own story. And this has changed dramatically the way we participate in politics. Now, democracy, in order to function well, relies on a common set of facts. We all start from a common set of facts that we call, for lack of a better word, reality. We interpret reality through different stories in different ways, perhaps contradictory, depending on where we stand politically or depending on our upbringing or our religious convictions. We tell different stories about that reality, but there is a reality we rely on. Social media have changed this. Social media have made this idea explode. They have blown away the idea of a shared common truth. And for the first time in the history of human experience, we are able to impose a falsified, distorted version of reality And this is weakening our democracies. I think this is part of the answer.
So we should go back to the European story.
I think this, yes, exactly. I think this idea of the common narrative should be one of our main tasks as citizens, and in particular, I speak for myself, as storytellers, journalists, novelists, people who work with the written word, have the task right now of confronting that falsified version of reality, that set of alternative facts, as somebody in the Trump campaign called them a while ago. We have the task and the obligation, and I would say the civic obligation, but also the moral obligation, to confront that falsified reality with our own story, in a way to regain control over our own story as citizens.